Hi there. My name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. You know how we've been doing it. Thank you for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way, and thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregations and your families. You are rocking it, my friends. Thank you. And thank you so much for your partnership in this ministry. I couldn't do it without you, and I am so happy that you are here with me. All right, this is for the 5th Sunday in Lent, and we are looking at the gospel lesson and the first reading. The gospel lesson, which is out of John, and the second reading, which is the first reading, is out of Jeremiah. So we're looking at the gospel lesson and the first reading out of Jeremiah. So out of the gospel lesson, what I'm looking, there's a line in there where Jesus says, I will draw all people to me. Or on the cross, all people will be drawn to me. And it's similar. I'm probably paraphrasing it, but that sense of being drawn to the cross. Now, the word that gets used there is the same word that gets used when fish are being dragged in a net. So all people are dragged towards the cross. And what I love about that, I mean, it sounds like, well, do I not have a choice or whatever? I'm looking at it in the sense that God's love overshadows and pours over everybody, in that sense that we are drawn to, when we experience the love of God, it's like Star Trek tractor beam kind of stuff. That's my best tractor beam sound, even though it's in space and there isn't oxygen, and how do they hear that? But that's a whole different thing. But we're looking at that idea of being drawn to the cross. So for the gospel lesson, a couple of the springboards I'm thinking about, or what to use, is you've got those hoop toss games where you've got like bottles and you're throwing and you catch and it goes over the bottle, like in the carnivals or your school carnivals or at the fairgrounds. I started to say playgrounds, but mixed it up with fairgrounds. Those grounds, and you've got the bottles. And so thinking about taking one of those hoops and tying a line to it, and you throw it and it lands, and you kind of pull it in. Sometimes at the Dollar Tree, they have those sticky hands where you go to toss the hands and it lands and sticks, and then you can pull that in. There's that. The other thing is the old fishing game. You've got the sheet. You remember as a kid. Perhaps you remember as a kid that where you have the sheet. You're in the classroom. You're not in the classroom, but you're in the hallway. School carnival. Walk up and you got a little fishing pole, and you put the fishing pole over and you catch something. That's amazing. And so this idea of the cross drawing all of us in, and using that as that illustration of the springboard. All right, so there's the gospel lesson. Now in Jeremiah, we have this wonderful verse where God forgives and forgets our iniquities. God forgives and forgets our sin, remembers our sin no more. So the springboard item I'm using is one of these. It's either this, or the red's nice because it's got contrast. But you've got this, which is a bluish purple, or this one's still in the pack and it's making a lot of noise. There we are. Or just the black. These are called Frixon pens. You can get them at Fred Meyer's, you can get them at Kroger's, you can get them at Staples, you can find them on Amazon. They are called Frixon pens, and they have a little knob here, and that's how they're erasable pens where you draw on something, and then the idea is using this, you can erase, and it's the friction of this that erases. Actually, it's the heat from this that erases, which is where we go with using this. We've been using this in the magic world for a long time, and it's I always say, I don't say it, but someone has said it, and I quote them, that magic is just science that hasn't caught up yet. Yeah. So or science is magic that hasn't got caught up yet. Or, yeah. Anyway, friction. So I have used the red pen, and what I've done is I've used the red pen, and I have put it on. I have marked all the things I've done wrong. Oh, wait a second. There we go. I forgot one. So there's quite a bit more. But you've got all these things that all the sins that you've done wrong. You can, well, I just remembered another one, and another one, another one, yeah, another one. Man, I better stop while I'm ahead because I keep adding more and more. Okay, well, no, if I keep putting down a mark for ones I remember, we'll be here all day. So, but I've got all these, they're marked, all the things that I can remember that I've done wrong because I remember them well. But God tells us that God doesn't. God forgives our iniquities and remembers our sin no more. So, I have a match here, and in your sanctuary, you'll probably have candles. So, I light the match, and I'm not going to hold it up right up to it, but I hold it up close enough, make sure I get this, and check this out. See that? Anyway, yes, gone. Oh, I missed one. So you could actually then redo that one, and then here, but it's gone, gone, gone. I tell you, look at that. And that is the friction pen. If you have not used it, I've mentioned this. I've done these, used these in previous children's sermons before. And if you haven't used it before, or even if you have, this is amazing. And you could, big piece of paper, draw it. Now, one of the things you want to make sure of is you only need the heat from the fire. You only need the heat from the fire, so you don't have to put it really down low. You can just run it and practice with this so you can get where it's at. You could use a candle from one of the candles in your sanctuary. This idea of God's love and the fire and the Holy Spirit. We use fire to represent the Spirit and how the Spirit works in our hearts, and we hear this this gift of forgiveness that God. I mean, we just saw this in a moment. Yeah, it's gone. So that is my springboard, and I'm hoping it can be useful for your own children's sermon. Friction pens, they're amazing. So thank you again for the love you're sharing with your kids and your congregations and your family. Thank you. You are rocking it, my friends. I'll see you next week. Peace.